Hey, howdy, hey, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17, Episode 8. This was the Rusical Challenge. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below what you thought about this episode, and hit that subscribe button, become part of the Samature community. Ding! You can also follow me on my other social media platforms at Samature on all platforms. Before we do get into this episode, make sure to not send hate to any of the queens mentioned in this video, because that's not what these are meant for. These are meant for us to have a cute time over here on the side of the interwebs, talk about all things Drag Race, and have a cute little kiki. So with that being said, let's get right on into this episode, baby. See? Intro in 45 seconds. Let's go. Alright. Episode starts out with the girls coming into the workroom after the elimination of Crystal Envy. Again, Lana survived her second lip sync, is feeling better about it herself, feeling like, all right, this is my, now I need to reset, and move forward in this competition. Personally, I don't see Lana winning this season at this point after being in the bottom 2 weeks in a row, but maybe she'll stick around for a little bit longer. We will see. Again, they're also congratulating, congratulating Anya on her second win. Very well deserved. Right? Anya won? Yes, it's Anya won Snatch Game. Brain fart. So Anya, congratulating Anya. Susie's a little upset. Lana survived. Yes, work. New day in the workroom. We have our showmans. And if you followed them online, they are still together. Keep in mind this was filmed over a year ago. I think it was about a year ago. And Lydia Butthole Collins and Corey King are still together. This is the first couple, I think, from Drag Race to make it like long distance, long time, a longer period of time. So shout out. And yeah, work. Which is kind of crazy that it's been 17 seasons and this is the first showmance to actually like make it out of the show. So RuPaul comes in, introduces the main challenge. Again, it's the Wicked Wiz bleh, 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 bleh. The title of the Rusical is the Wicked Wiz of Oz. So it's combining Wicked, the Wiz, and Wizard of Oz. Work. Also, great timing with Wicked just coming out this year. I'm sure they had to have planned that out. That clever. I see you, Paramount. I see you, Drag Race. I see you. Work. They have to assign roles, pick who they want to be. There are different roles. There's different Dorothys, different good witches, different bad witches, yada, yada, yada. Yes. So, everyone kind of assigns roles. There are a few drama moments. Everyone wants to have the Kansas Dorothy. Sam wants it, Acacia wants it, and so does Susie. So Sam pretty quickly drops out and then takes the Cher role, the Wicked Witch of the East, inspired by Cher. Susie really wants the Dorothy role. So does Acacia. They start arguing over it. Then over time, people basically say, "Well, Susie got the role she wanted for the SNL episode, so it's time for her to let someone else have the role she wants." And Susie ends up with the Green Witch. So Acacia gets the main Dorothy role. Anya is the Harlem Dorothy. Everyone basically, there's some more drama. Corey and Corey and Jules both want the Good Witch, and ultimately Corey ends up taking the flying monkey role with Lydia, and Jules ends up in the Good Witch. Work. So the couple gets to stay together. Y'all, they're setting this up. I'm just need to take a moment. There is no way, again I say, no way, if you start a showmance on a TV show like Drag Race, that they will not at some point in the show make you two lip sync against each other. I'm calling it now. That is going to happen. I don't know when. I don't think it's at the end because I don't see Corey winning this show. No shade to Corey. Lydia, not necessarily seeing her win the show either. So I think it might be happening soonish. We will see. I'm just saying, I'm calling it. So they go to record vocals with Michelle Visage, 2 separate groups. It is what it is. So I'm kind of going to let these pictures scroll on through because there's not too much to talk about. Like, ultimately, they're recording the vocals that we'll get to see later on in the show. I think it's silly when they make critiques about the rehearsals when I'm like, y'all are making critiques about something that's not the final product. And we'll get to that later, especially with Anya in the choreo. That kind of upset me that they were like, Jamal made a point of bringing up that she was having difficulty picking up the choreo and using that as a critique. But I feel like that was just a silly critique to make it so she didn't look as good as everyone else. When the final product, the final show that we saw from Anya, personally, I think was the best of the night. Personally. Again, we'll get to that later. I think Anya could have gotten her 3rd win. I'm kind of becoming an Anya nerve stan. Like, Anya's kind of slaying this season. And I definitely see her in the finale, if not winning this season. T. Almost spun my water bottle. So, Jules is doing choreo. I'm gonna let this kind of scroll through because there's not too much to talk about. I mostly got my main point out about how they were talking about Anya taking time to pick up the choreo, but ultimately the final product is good. So why are you critiquing her on that? Seems sus. All right, new day in the workroom. Had to take this picture of Susie just fully painting her face green. I know it's the role. I get it. She's alphabet. I get it. I just thought this was funny. We get some cool moments. We also get to know more about Acacia. She's talking about her growing up with a medical condition. I believe I saw that she actually did Make-A-Wish. So this is where I'm going to get a little real with y'all. And if you don't want to hear this, you can skip forward. I'm going to be very honest, very vulnerable on Maine. Sure. So I grew up with a disability. Still have it to this day, obviously. I actually did have Make-A-Wish when I was little. So in this moment, I had a lot of connection to Acacia, and this just showed her in an entirely different light in this moment for me. I remember growing up being told that some of the doctors when I was a baby were saying I wouldn't make it past 3. Here I am. I'm 27, doing great, thriving. This isn't pity me or anything like that. I'm just saying this really showed a different light for Acacia. And for me, my heart goes out to Acacia. Like, growing up with a disability is not easy. It's not easy, y'all. And God, this was a lot. This was a lot for me. And also in this moment, I was like, well, Casey is probably going home because she's talking about her story. This is her moment. She's telling who she is. It was a lot. It was a lot for me to handle. Yeah. So I'm moving forward because I don't want to start getting too emotional right now. We're moving to the main stage. RuPaul's talking about RuPaul's like, we're gonna do Fab or Drab real quick. RuPaul, I like the color. It's fab. It's fab. It's fab. Michelle gets a fab. Michelle gets a fab. Jamal gets a fab. And the guest judge this week is Adam Lambert. I like the outfit. I really do. I love the sparkles, love the glitter. The makeup's nice. He looks good. Fab. All right, let's get to the Wicked Wiz of Oz auditions today. So, when it comes to the Rusical, we're going to start out with Susie 2, because Susie had the first number. For me, I think Susie did very, 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 very well. Very well. I was not shocked in the slightest. I mean, this is her bread and butter. This is what she does. She was talking about how she's done musical theater for 10 years. Like, she's a theater girly. Of course, you're going to do well in the Rusical. I mean, look at last year with Plasma, right? So, I thought Susie did very well. Very, very, very well. I really enjoyed her number. And yeah, I think she slayed. Very good, Susie. Very good. Jules was a good witch. I thought this was cute. I did. I do think she could have used a bigger breastplate, personally. But I do think she did well, and she had fun. I had fun watching her. It's cute. Yes, it says. I think she could have been safe, personally. But let me know what you think down below. All right. So the trio, right? We had the Scarecrow, the Tin Woman, and the Lioness. So I think these roles were kind of set up to be safe no matter what. Like, unless you flopped, I think you were gonna be safe. And I think that's kind of why they picked those roles. No tea. I mean, Arietti didn't want to be in the bottom again. Lexi probably didn't think she was gonna be doing super well. This felt like a safe role. And of course, Lana, having just been in the bottom 2 weeks, wanted a role she could do well and not end up in the bottom. So it is what it is. Sam Starr as Cher, essentially. I thought this was really great. I think Sam started very, very, very well. I do think she loosened up a lot and really had fun with it. I enjoyed it. I thought she was towards the top for me, for sure. Winning, not necessarily for me, but hey. All right, the Flying Monkeys with Lydia and Corey. I think these roles also, again, were safe unless you messed up. And they could kind of pick at Corey in this moment a little bit, no shade, to put her in the bottom. It is what it is. Like, Corey had the smaller one of the two flying monkeys anyways. So I get what they're saying by Lydia outshined her, but I also feel like it could make an argument the role was kind of set up for that. Anya was my favorite. Anya was my favorite of the night. Anya was my favorite of the night. Her voice is amazing. The performance, the presence. Again, I say this every week with Anya Nerve. She brings something to the show that no one else is bringing. It's unbeatable. Like, Anya's that girl. She slayed. Acacia as Dorothy. This is her moment of, like, if this is the ballad moment, you need to take that and really punch it. You need to really own that moment. I feel like Acacia wasn't fully in that moment the way that she needed to be, which again they talk about in the placements. Here, finding out that was also the anniversary of the last time she saw her grandmother before she died. Like, Acacia was really going through it mentally, I'm sure, on this day, and had a lot of just not doing the best, right? So I get where she's coming from, right? So overall, I enjoyed this musical. Was it my favorite? No, I think Wigloose is better. I think the one with the season 14 Cabaret was better. I think this one was better than The Sound of Rusic. I will say I do think this was better than The Sound of Rusic, but I do think Wigloose was better, and I think the Cabaret one from season 14 was better. Season 13 was Poot. Season 12 Rusical. What was season 12's Rusical? Was that the Madonna Rusical? Madonna was good. Madonna was a good Rusical. I can do an entire video ranking Rusicals. Let me know if you want to see that. Anyways, overall, I enjoyed this. I thought it was cute. Not my favorite Rusical. Not bad. Category is Parasol, essentially. Parasol Runway. Up first, we have Susie 2 doing a monochromatic moment. I thought this was fab. Yeah, fab. She looks good. I love all the jewels. Very pretty. Very pretty. Speaking of jewels, next up we have Jewel Sparkles. I thought this was fab. Jewels look so good. I will say this. I've seen other reviewers mention this, and I think it is a good point. On this new stage, I think black gets really washed out and you can't see the details. So I do think hers was better than another look we got, but a lot of the details are hard to see and you can't really get into all the intricacies. So it's a fab for sure, but I do think had the lighting been different, it could have been really gaggy. Really gaggy. Next up, we have Arietti. I thought Arietti looks fab. Is it my favorite Arietti look? No. I think we've gotten better Arietti looks, but definitely fab. Arietti looks fab. You can never say Arietti looks bad. Ever. Arietti is always flawless. Just not my favorite look. Next up, from Arietti. Let me clarify. From Arietti. Next up, we have Lexi Love. I love this. It's fab. I love the Scaparelli. Love that she's taking the parasol and making it a hat. I thought this was fab. She looks like gorge. Fab. Next, we have Sam Starr. I thought this was really nice, really fab. I love all the monochromaticness of it all. Very pretty. Jamal said she looked like she's from the 2025 Met Gala. I think that was a bit much, but it was still fab. Fab. Fab is starting to sound weird to me. Up next, we have Lydia Butthole Collins. It's drab for me, unfortunately. I like Lydia. I don't love this look. It's in between a fab and a drab. Like, I can't hate. It's a fab. I can't give it a drab, but not my favorite. Up next, we have Corey King. I actually did like this look from Corey. I thought Corey looked very nice. I love that she's not wearing blonde. So I'll give it a fab. Not my favorite look of the night, but I'll give it a fab. Anya Nerve gets a fab. I think the yellow looks fabulous on her. She looks gorge. I love the parasol. I love the monochromatic. I love a monochromatic look like this. And yeah, Anya looks fab. Again, I think Anya could have won this episode, low-key. Up next, we have Acacia Forgot. Acacia looks nice. I like it. I'm going to give it a fab. Like, I think this is a cool concept. I think it's well done. Especially compared to some of her other looks. I like this one a lot. It's nice. The wig is a really cool moment, too. Lana Jaray. You know how I was saying sometimes the details get lost on a all black garment on the main stage? This is what I was talking about. I feel like we're missing a lot of the details, and I think she looks fab. Of course, I want to get more into the details. I want to see the beading. I want to see it all. But I'll give it a fab. Everyone looks good. I don't think anyone got lowest looks of the night for me were Lydia and Corey. Yeah, and Acacia. Yeah, that seems fair. All right. Ultimately, RuPaul announces the safe queens. So, Lexi, Arietti, Lana, and Lydia are safe. Everyone else is in the tops or the bottoms. So there are 4 tops and 2 bottoms this week. So the bottoms this week are going to be Corey and Acacia, and the tops are Anya, Samstar, Jules Sparkles, and Susie 2. Ultimately, the winner of this week's challenge is going to be Sam Starr. Congratulations. For me, I still think Anya could have been the winner, but let me know who you think should win down below in the comments section. Yes. Susie 2 is safe. I think they were hoping for a face crack, and they didn't really get the face crack that they were hoping for, but I had to take a screenshot anyways. So the bottom 2 are Corey and Acacia. and they're lip syncing to Wet Dream by Adam Lambert. So for me, in terms of this lip sync, Corey definitely won. I think Acacia was kind of just doing very one note, one similar thing the entire time. But Corey was doing a lot. A lot. Still, I think Corey won, for sure. And yeah, I love this backbend moment. That was really cool. Also, Corey lost the wig. But she put it back on. I think this is just a season of the wigs falling off, with Lana last week and this week Corey. Ultimately, RuPaul announces that Corey is safe to slay another week, and unfortunately, Acacia Forgot has to sashay away. Again, I mentioned this earlier. I think this was a really great episode for Acacia. I know she went home, obviously, but like in terms of really being vulnerable and really opening up and telling us her story, I thought this was a really special moment for Acacia. So you will always have a fan in me, Acacia Forgot, and shout out. I was sad to see her go. I definitely think it was the time for her to go, but it is what it is. You know, ultimately, she's gone. Next week is a design challenge, so we'll be reviewing. I think it's a Betsy Johnson design challenge, and she's probably gonna be the guest judge. So that'll be fun. It'll be cute. I'm excited. I'm curious to see who does well. I hope. I want Lexi to do well because I feel like Lexi hasn't gotten a. I mean, she was technically in the top last week, but I don't really think she was in the top. I want Lexi to get a win. I want. Who is going to do well next week? Let me know down below. Arietti, I think, will do well, of course. Sam Star will do well. Yeah, I think those are going to be the top 3. Maybe Anya. I don't know. We will see. I'm excited. Let me know what you think about this down below. Make sure to make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Become part of the Samature Hour community. Ding! You can also follow me on my other social media platforms at Samature Hour on all platforms. I'll be back here later with another video. Have a good rest of your night and day wherever you are. And I will see y'all later. Bye.